Hello everyone, it's me Ryusei, and today we'll be taking a tour of my day 1-ish wuwa account. We'll be going over my current 5-star characters and my 5-star wishlist, my current character builds, exploration, achievements, and everything else. I hope you enjoy, and let's hop into it. Looking at my Chisha, you can see I started playing on July 20th, which is about 2 months after the game launched. Hence why I call it a day 1-ish account. Looking at my 5 stars, I believe my first 5-star was Farina. Yes, it was Farina. As you can see, we got her on July 20th as well. I think when the game first started, they had a choose a 5-star selector, and Farina was the one I picked, with genshin being the one I picked for my beginner convene banner. I never used her a lot because her kit felt a little clunky to me, but having her and genshin being my 2 healers for the early game was really helpful. Then I believe I got Encore, which she is so cute, I love her design, and I recently got Lin Yang as well. And of course, I got Changli on her debut banner. I'm usually not a fan of red designs, but her overall outfit being mostly white and the mixture of soft peachy colors with the deep red was really enticing to me. I also thought her phoenix motif was also really interesting and made her very unique. Next up we have Shorekeeper, who I just recently pulled. I'm so happy that I was able to get her. I lost my last 3 50/50s, so I was so happy when I actually won and got her on my first try. I'll be doing a building video for her soon, so keep an eye open for that. Of course we have Kantarella, our resident Ojo-sama. I've done a pulling and building video for her, so if you're interested in a more in-depth look at her build, or my thoughts on her design, you can find it there. We have our lovely bard Chakona. She was actually the first resonator I pulled after coming back to the game. If you look at her resonance date, it's almost exactly a year from when I started, which I thought was a funny coincidence. She's actually the reason I kept playing. I did a random tent pull and I told myself if I got a 5-star, I'd keep playing, and lo and behold, she came home. So I do kinda credit her as being the reason I started playing wuwa again. And this leads us into Cardathia. At first I only pulled her because I knew she was a good teammate for Chakona, but after doing her story quest, I completely fell in love with her character. Her personality and strength was really admirable, and the writing of the story was just so good. She's definitely become one of my mains. And lastly we have Frolova. Frolova was one of those people who, when I first saw her in the 1.0 story quests, I knew I needed her if she ever became playable. Her story really resonated with me, and I honestly teared up a lot at the ending. I wasn't expecting Kuro to take such a big risk with her story, but it really paid off, and I think they did her a lot of justice. In my opinion, she's the pinnacle of playable villains being done right. Now, when it comes to my character wishlist, my biggest want is Jinshi. I just think her design is so pretty and her skin is amazing. I'm so mad I haven't gotten her before. I was unfortunately too late to get her on the anniversary banner, and I regret it so much. I'm hoping she gets a rerun soon, and if not soon, maybe on the next anniversary banner I can snatch her up. And of course, along with Jinshi, I would really like Jeju. She's Jinshi's best support, but even beside that, I think her design is very cute, and I love her signature weapon, so hopefully when she reruns, I can snatch her and her weapon up. I do also have Brant and Carlotta on my list, but they're way lower priority. Moving on to character builds, we're going to be starting with my Cardathia, who I believe is my best built character. The only thing I think I could really improve about her is getting 1% more crit damage, but honestly I'm not too bothered by it. We have her on her signature weapon, Defire's Thorn, which makes it so much easier to hit the 50,000 HP threshold. And of course, she's on a 5-piece Windward Pilgrimage. Her forte skills are 8, 6, 8, 8, and 6. I would like to get them all to level 10 at some point. She's currently at S1. I did want to try to get her to S2, but I did lose a 50-50. But honestly, I think I'll try to get her at S2 on her next rerun. That's all for my card, Thea. So let's hop over to Chikona. I do want to try to fix her build at some point. I feel like her crit rate and crit damage ratio could be improved some. But honestly, she's very strong. She's currently holding a Static Mist, and she's on a 5-piece Gust of Welkin. My main want is to get her a crit damage forecast, since Static Mist already gives so much crit rate. Her forte skills are very similar to Cardathea. All important ones are at 8, and less important is at 6, and she is at S0. I do really like her sequence node pose. Moving on to Furlova. I'm still not 100% satisfied with her build, and would like to tweak it in the future, but for now I think she's pretty serviceable. With her Echo set, she's at 90% crit rate. I feel like I could get her crit damage a little higher, and maybe some more attack as well. Also some more useful stats like basic attack damage, resonant skill damage, and hopefully getting rid of that one energy regen substat I have. She is on her signature weapon, Lethian Elegy. It took so much pain and sweat to get this weapon, but thankfully we got her. It looks so pretty on her and fits her theme so nicely. Also, it makes her super strong, which is also a plus. Of course, she's on her signature set, Dream of the Lost, with a 2-piece Midnight Veil for the Havoc damage bonus. And can I just say, I love the Fraxidus design for their echo devices, so pretty. Like all my other characters, her important skills are level 8, being her normal attacks, Forte Circuit, and Resonance Liberation, with her Resonance skill and intro being level 6. She is S0, but I am interested in getting some copies of her in the future, since I do consider her one of my mains. I also think her Resonance Chain animation is very pretty. Next, we'll be looking at the second part of my Havoc team, Cantarella, who is our resident Ojo-sama. I did a whole video where we built her together, so I won't go too in-depth with her build. Looking at her weapon here, she is on an R1 augment. I would like to get her signature weapon in the future, but for now I think this suits her fine. And of course, she's on a 5-piece Midnight Veil. I fought so hard to get some good energy regen rolls on this, and thankfully I did, but I do think she needs a little bit more, maybe closer to 140. Her forte skills are 6, 8, 8, 8, and 6. However, I do plan on maxing them out in the future. Onto her Resonance Chain, she is S0, and I plan on leaving her there. I think she's a great staple on my Havoc team, and I love having her on my account. Moving on from one build character to the other, next up we have Verena. I do have a video on the channel where I go and fix her incompleted build. Currently I'm running her on an R1 variation, and she's on a Rejuvenating Glow Echo set. Like my other characters, her more important resonance skills are leveled up to level 8, and I have her at S1. Verena's definitely a staple to have on your account, and I highly recommend you build her if you haven't already. Moving on to my last actually built 5-star, we have Rover. I currently only have Arrow Rover actually built, and of course we're running them on Blood Pack's Pledge. Their Echo set is kind of interesting. I have them on a 2-piece Rejuvenating Glow and Sierra Gale. In my opinion, there's no real best in slot Echo set for them, so I think the 2-piece works. Once again, Forte skills, most important ones are at 8 and the least important ones are at 6. And I currently have them at S4. Overall, I think Arrow Rover is a good unit, though I do find their kit a little clunky and unfun to play, but I know I need them for my Cardathia. Next, we're going to be looking at my exploration progress. Looking first at Huanglong, I only have 3 areas 100%ed. I've only just recently started exploring this region, hence why my exploration is so low. However, I do plan to do more since they did add the flight function to Jinzhou in this recent update. So hopefully I'll get more done this year. Next up, we have the Black Shores. I absolutely hated doing the challenge fights in this area. To me, they were some of the hardest fights in the game, and honestly, they were a headache to get through. But I'm glad I was able to 100% both of the places and get some asteroids. Next, we're going to be moving on to Ryusei. As you can see, I have completely 100%ed the entire region, all except for the Sanguis Plateau, since it was just added, though I do plan to 100% it soon. Since I started playing wuwa again during the Ryusei arc, it quickly became one of my favorite regions in the game. I love how different each of the areas are, and how easy they made exploration and navigating around the map. I think Ryusei was such a huge step up from Huanglong, and I'm really excited to see what they have for the other regions. Moving past characters, we're now going to look at my profile. First, we're going to look at my sigils that I've obtained so far. Currently, I have equipped the Dreamland sigil, as it matches my Furlova PFP very cutely. I think it's so pretty. I'm hoping to collect more as I do more quests and events and unlock more achievements. Wish I had unlocked the She and Her Dream one. I am so sad that I missed some of these really cute ones because they were on the past podcasts, but hopefully they release some more cute ones that I can grab when I get the chance. I'm not a huge collector when it comes to sigils. I just like to grab the ones that I personally think are cute. Titles, I don't have too many. I'm so sad that so many of these are locked behind R5 characters. I would love to get Cardathia's, I think it's so pretty. However, I'm not that big of a spender, so maybe one day I'll get it, but definitely not all at once. Looking at my avatars, I only have 2 event ones. The rest are just the regular standard character ones. I currently have Furlova's equipped because it matches my sigil the best. We are now moving on to the inventory. First looking at echoes. I don't have too many unleveled echoes just sitting around. I try to just recycle them if I have too many to keep my inventory pretty low. I have been trying to hold on to any Dream of the Lost, Windward Pilgrimage, and Gust of Welkin echoes I get. I'm holding on to them just so I can hopefully improve my Furlova, Cardathia, and Chacona in the future. I'm also holding on to some Scorching Flame just for my Changli or my Encore whenever I decide to build them, but they're lower priority, so it'll probably be a while. Moving on to my supplies, as you can see, I barely have any. I don't find cooking very useful in this game as compared to Genshin. If I need to revive or heal my party to full, I can go to any residence beacon, so cooking isn't really on my priority list right now. Next, moving on to development materials. As you can see, I have a pretty good amount of golden Echo EXP. Though I would like some more, I'm trying to hoard as much as I can. I also would like some more modifiers as I am running low. I used my last bit of them when I was doing echoes for Verena, so I'm trying to wait till I build up some more before I start using them again. But in general, I feel like I have a pretty good amount of materials and don't really need to grind for a lot of stuff. For my resources, you can see I have some Sonance caskets from different regions, as well as the bells from that region in Huanglong that I can't think of right now. I don't really do any resource collecting unless it's like getting flowers or other materials to ascend characters, which thankfully is way easier than looking for materials in Genshin. The one resource I do try to go out of my way to look for is the Scarlet Thorn. It's used for the Sonnen's Casket sensor, which I do think is very useful, but I feel like it's so hard to actually find the Scarlet Thorn, and I feel like the deposits that there are not really that big, so it is kind of frustrating to have to look for. Moving on to quest items. I believe I've completed all of the companion stories so far, so I should have all of those items as well as the most recent ones from the story quest. But other than that, I think the only ones I'm missing are from events, I believe. Moving on to my valuables. As you can see, I have 3 poles just kind of sitting around, some corals. I do have some solvents as well, 21 to be exact. You'll be able to see here, I am such a supply pack hoarder. I have so many of them that just kind of sit here. Even though I should be using them more, I'm just kind of anxious. I don't know. I play a lot of JRPGs where resource management is very important, so I'm always like tight gripped on my items that are limited. Lastly, we're going to be looking at my trophies. As you can see, I have 520 total stars and 378 completed. For my exploration achievements, I have only one 100%ed. I would like to finish all the Renacida ones at some point, as well as the Black Shore ones, since I am pretty close to 100%ing that. I'm not a huge achievement person. The only game I really go out of my way for to collect achievements for is in Genshin. But I would like to try to get some 100% over here as well, since I know I can get a couple of asteroids for them. But in general, I don't really go out of my way to do achievements. I think it might be fun to do a video where we see how many achievements I can complete in a certain time period. I think it'd be kind of fun. I know the JP male VA for Rover has like 100% achievements for almost everything in the game, so I don't think I'd be at that level, but I want to be kind of close. It's so sad to see I have 0 co-op achievements. If you want to add me as a friend on wuwa, feel free to. I actually don't have any. So always feel free to add. I'm always open to it. I didn't even know I was so close to completing the Echo Collection one. If I do that video, this might be the first one we do. But overall, these are all the achievements I've gotten so far, and hopefully I plan to get more in the future. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed taking a little sneak peek into my account. I'm hoping to make this an annual thing so I can see the progress of my account each year and hopefully watch it get better and better. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.